Welcome to this webinar hosted by Brock Community Action and the Micro Business Development Program. I'm Ben Winrich, Business Counselor with Brock Community Action. Today we look at starting a business online and moving business online. For many business owners, it's a time of transition as we get used to the current business climate where retail sales and in-person sales are almost non-existent for many and very limited to non-existent for many as well. So online business really opens you back up to a much wider customer audience, and for many business owners can help mitigate that loss of in-person sales. I mean, if we just do a little bit of math here, as you can see, the adult population of Rutland County is around 48,000 people. But the entire U.S. adult population is over 209 million. I can't think of too many businesses that wouldn't want to potentially open themselves up to 209 million more customers. And with online sales, you can potentially open yourself up to that many more people. There's never really been a better time to go online because many more people are shopping online right now as they can't get those in-person retail sales. So by opening yourself up to that online market, there's never been a better time to open yourself up to more customers. For many business owners, a good thing to look at is, what product am I selling? Is this something that's going to easily transition to online? Some products maybe don't transition as easily online and really do sometimes require those in-person sales. For products that are extremely unique, again, sometimes a product is just better suited to an in-person sale and may not get the same amount of traction as in an online. But again, there's never been a better time to move online into sales. Another question would be, will people be actively looking for what I'm trying to sell? In an online market, marketing can make or break a product. If your product is something that people are actively searching for, one less thing you have to worry about in online sales. Marketing can be a real pain when you're trying to do it online, just as it can be when you're trying to do it for retail in-person sales. So if your product is something that people are already going to be looking for online, then it's just that much more of a reason to maybe move your product online in the first place. Another thing to consider is the price. The price will have a lot of dictation as to what kind of platform you're going to want to sell online. So for a certain product, you might be able to get some spur of the moment sales, which, again, you'd be able to get those in person, but online is the same kind of deal. You can get those spur of the moment one-click buys online as you can in person. Another thing to consider is how your product will look online versus in person. Some products do very well online, and some you're not able to market them as well if people can't physically touch them or see them, or sometimes think something like a scented candle. People can't smell the candle through online, so maybe you might take a hit because people can't come and do that. And lastly, is your product something that can easily be shipped? Because that's a reality of online sales, is that you are going to have to ship it to the customer. So if it's something that's going to be difficult and cumbersome to try and ship and move, or if it's something that's potentially perishable and may not be able to move through a shipper quickly, that might be something to take into account and maybe give you some pause and thought about what your online sales will look like of that product. These are all things that business owners really need to consider before they just jump into online sales, because it can be a really great way to increase sales and to increase your customer audience. But if you're going in expecting the best and maybe your business isn't very well adapted to an online marketplace, then you may have to look at some of the drawbacks your business might have in general and really look at, is this going to be viable? For those that are looking to move into an online sales and start that online business, two really solid options are eBay and Shopify. Now, these are two of the most prominent online marketplaces. eBay, obviously, a very popular online marketplace for sellers. Shopify, a very popular hosting site for online marketplaces. And we're going to go over some of the differences and the strengths and the drawbacks that each option affords a business owner and a prospective online business owner. So starting off, we have eBay. Many people have already heard of the site. Many people already use the site. Maybe you've used it in your personal life. Maybe you've even sold stuff on it in your personal life. If you have, you already have a leg up on someone who hasn't, because you would already know the process of selling items. eBay, obviously, a very well-known, highly trafficked website where you're going to be able to get a lot of eyes on your product. This is something that, if your product is something that people are going to be searching for, if you take that into account, it's a huge plus because you don't have to worry as much about marketing, and eBay is going to do a lot of the marketing for you. Another strength with eBay is that it is very easy to create an account and start listing your items right away. So eBay is something that if you want to jump into online sales, you could create an eBay account, list your items, and you can have a marketplace open in less than a day. One of the great strengths about eBay in that is that there is that pre-existing infrastructure because it's a known online marketplace, and they also have a lot of great guides for business owners and prospective sellers in the fact that they have pricing guides, they make shipping very easy, and they also have a very good interface with customers, so that way you can communicate with your customers about products you may be selling. You can communicate with customers and answer any of their questions about your products. And then you can also talk to them about shipping concerns, and make sure that you're constantly in contact and make sure that they have a very good experience with you online. Another positive to eBay is that you can pay to advertise your listings, and this is going to help them be at the top of that search for whatever the product is. So it's going to get more eyes on it and hopefully get it sold faster. Another positive is that if you do start small with an eBay account, they only take into account the fees of what you sell. So if you are a business owner who's really looking for that start in online sales, and you maybe don't have a ton of capital to dump into an online marketplace, eBay might be a really great place to start because you're going to learn very quickly about how to manage online sales, and you're not going to have a ton of overhead in your sales because you're only going to have to pay the seller fees and potentially the PayPal fees that go along with the business. And then from there, you can scale up. And like I said, eBay is already optimized for PayPal, which is a really safe and secure and easy payment method for many people. It allows you to accept credit cards and debit cards, and then move that into a personal bank account afterwards. So it really optimizes it for both the business owner and for the customer. Some of the drawbacks, though, is that eBay is a great marketplace, but chances are if you're trying to sell something on eBay, somebody else is probably trying to sell it on there too. So one of the things to keep in mind about eBay is that it is a very competitive marketplace. So some products are built for competitive marketplaces, some aren't necessarily. So if you do have that product that's really built for a competitive marketplace, you might thrive on eBay. Another drawback is that eBay has very little in terms of personalization for a listing. Apart from those photos and your description, there's not much else. eBay has that same white window where you're going to get the information that the seller puts in there for every listing. So if you're looking at trying to individually market your product and make it stand out other than a picture and a description, you might not find that on eBay. Another thing to take into account with both of these websites, they're both simply product-based e-commerce. And for service websites, it's a lot harder to market on a site like eBay or Shopify with selling a service, whereas a product is much more tailored to these sites. With any online business, you're going to have to factor in eBay fees and PayPal fees, but you're going to have to factor in fees into any online business. That's just how it works. And again, if you do scale up into a larger eBay storefront, there are fees associated, running as small as $10 a month, $20 a month for very modestly sized businesses, all the way up to you can pay for hundreds of thousands of listings a month for, very large fees. But this is for, the largest of online sellers. Marketing on eBay. eBay is very well tailored to market products. eBay has built-in pricing guides to help you keep your product competitively priced. And like I said, advertising your business listing and your listing can help it reach more eyes by being at the top of the list for whatever that search term is. Shipping on eBay is also incredibly easy and is a really great place to learn how to manage the logistics of online sales. Because eBay has such great infrastructure, you learn slowly, but eBay has that helping hand because they can help you figure out pricing guides. So you don't necessarily have to do all your market research right off the bat. And again, with shipping, you don't have to worry about handling all of these packages and shipping and paying for shipping and figuring out all of how that works, because eBay can help you do that. They allow you to pay and print a shipping label through the website, and I believe it's even discounted. There's also a number of options for you to figure out how shipping and how you want to continue shipping in the future. So they offer free shipping, flat rate shipping, and calculated shipping. So free shipping is actually a very great way as an attractive marketing method, because not every product will have free shipping. So the allure of free shipping, I know everybody, whether it be Amazon or any online market, free shipping can be that allure because it feels like a discount. Flat rate shipping, it can be a really great way so that people just know already what the price is going to be if you want to include that in the price. Something to be careful with is that depending on where you may be shipping it to, you can win and lose with that. So it can either cover the entire cost plus some extra, or you could potentially have some additional out-of-pocket eating into your profit with that. One of the great things about eBay is that they have calculated shipping. So based on the size of the product and where they're shipping from, because they already have your data and then they have the user data, so they know exactly the cost of what the shipping is going to be. And that helps build in and allow the user to see the full cost. So it allows them to do a little bit of cost comparison of your product already. These are all things that I have personally experienced. I've run a online side business selling through eBay. I've made I've made a side hustle business out of selling sneakers when I was in school. I could buy and sell in between classes, and eBay was really great for this because of the way that the market worked. Shoes were something that I obviously knew that had an obvious market. I knew who the market was, and I knew that they would be searching for the product that I was trying to sell. And with that, I didn't have to worry about marketing my listing because I knew people were going to be looking at it. And I personally knew the pricing guides, but again, eBay would have been there had I not personally known what the pricing guides would have been. There's also great online research. If you don't know what the price is, do your market research. That's one of the first things that you should know about your product in the first place, is doing that research to figure out what the price is going to be. And what that allowed me to do was competitively price my item. And then at the very back end, because of shipping and how eBay takes care of the shipping for you, I could just print a shipping label and take care of that all in one click. And as a full-time student, I didn't have the time to do all the logistics of going to the post office, buying the shipping label, writing it up. I had to get things done very quickly, and that eBay infrastructure allows you to buy and sell your product and ship it all very smoothly and easily. So along with that, part of the keys to a very good eBay listing, content is really important with eBay. There are certain items that are just really well suited to sell on eBay, and there are items that don't necessarily do as well and aren't going to get the kind of traction that you may be looking for. So we look at something like masks, obviously a very topical product right now. A lot of people are looking into those. So with something like this, we see that there's a large number of high quality photos of this product so that people know exactly what they're getting. They have a very good description of what the item is. They tell everything in the title. That's very important, is getting a good title that can fit potentially a lot of keywords, because it's sort of like a beginner's version of search engine optimization, is getting in enough keywords, because eBay, the search algorithm works a lot like a standard search engine, where if you look for something, if you put in a lot of keywords, you're potentially going to get a lot of hits. Because if you just put in mask, but then if you want washable masks or adult cloth face masks, it's going to hit all those keywords, and your product is still going to be there. Another thing is, if you look at the price, these are pretty competitively priced based on the cost of what they're currently going for. And eBay's really great, because if you wanted to, again, sell something like this, they would already have this database of products that are similar, and they go, here's what the prices are like. And it allows you to help tailor your prices so that they're competitive, but you can still potentially make a profit off of them. Another great thing that eBay allows you to do is put in a very robust description. They also allow you to put in a pretty sparse description. But again, buyers want to know what they're buying. So that's by putting in a number of high quality photos. People want to know what they're buying, so they want to see it. And then they also really want to know what it is. So having that really excellent description where you tell them everything that they potentially want to know about the product is going to be really good. And another thing you can see is that eBay with shipping, you can see it allows you to accept returns. It also allows you to, based on where your shipping is, it'll tell the customer how long it will potentially take. And, sometimes for Shopify or, your own run site, you don't have that luxury, where eBay's back end infrastructure gives you a lot of bonuses as a new business owner. One of the things I like to say for an eBay listing is, a good rule of thumb is, would you buy the product if it was presented to you the way it is? That's a very good rule of thumb for any business and any product sales, is, would you buy it in the way that it's presented, like you are currently presenting it? So just something to keep in mind if you are looking to sell on eBay. Those high quality listing tips are really going to help you push yourself ahead of the competition and get more clicks and potentially more sales. So when creating an eBay account, there's a few things to take into account with that. So again, it's fairly simple to start an eBay account. You need an email address. A lot of the stuff that you need to buy on eBay is basically the same stuff that you need to sell on eBay. So there's packages with eBay. So again, that's something to take into account. Will you be listing 10 to 100 items, or will you be needing to list, upwards of 100 items? Because that's when some of the prices, that's when the premium packages and account prices are going to go up, and then you're going to have some monthly fees associated with the business. So whether or not you have the number of items you're selling is something to take into account when purchasing and starting an eBay account, as well as setting up a PayPal on the back end as well. One thing I would highly recommend if you're looking at starting an eBay account is, even if you have an eBay account that you've used to personally sell and buy items, start a personal business account, and as well as a PayPal. Keep the business and the personal separate, because that way, for sales purposes, you're going to be able to track sales much better. And for tax season, you're going to know, oh, what was my total sales revenue, and not potentially get mixed up with, oh, what did I sell personally that wouldn't necessarily be taxed with the business that I sold. So those are just things to take into account when starting your account, but they're all fairly straightforward forward things. And if you ever had any problem, call a micro business counselor. If you're interested in starting your business online, call a micro business counselor. We can help you with not only just moving your business online, but starting a business. A lot of the things that go into an online business are going to be just general business principles that we can help you with. So if feel free to contact any micro business counselor with any of this. The second option here that we're looking at is Shopify. Shopify's strength really lies in that it is a personalized website. So you get a lot more customization and personalization. The drawback being that you have to then market more on your own. It is a standalone site, not something that's going to necessarily draw in a wide customer base at the get go, where you're going to get you're going to get many more eyes starting on eBay. So I would even recommend potentially starting on eBay to sort of dip your toes into the online sales market. And then if you see yourself really working and the business as a whole taking off online, maybe you want to look at something like a Shopify to really make your product stand out even more. So part of the strengths of Shopify for especially new business owners is that because it is a hosting service, it comes with a whole array of back-end help with your business. So they offer things like templates. They also offer consumer analytics, as well as tech support. So, for many business owners that are starting that may not be fully comfortable launching their own standalone business website, but then still want that website, Shopify really offers a lot of continually still offers a good amount of infrastructure for business owners to launch that site. Another strength is that Shopify offers some low-priced options for business owners that are looking to start out. But again, it scales. So if you are continuing to see an increase in sales, you can scale your site up. But at one of the lowest cost options, your business can be optimized for Facebook Marketplace sales. So if you're really a small business looking for just local online sales, you can allow it to take credit card payments through online through that, and then just market through those channels. However, if you really want to go larger with your own personal site, you may want to. It will cost more, and you'll have to do more marketing. You can continue to market through Facebook, but you'll have to really build up that customer base on your own. And it is in fact a drawback of a Shopify site, is that you will have to drum up your own market, and that there is larger fees involved in the onset than with an eBay account. Another drawback is that for shipping, for many of the logistics behind it, it is all on the business owner. So things like market research to figure out your prices, figuring out shipping, and figuring out shipping costs, again, are all on the business owner. So you may have to do a little bit of learning, or it might be a steep learning curve if this is what you're diving into, if you're just starting out. So for starting a Shopify site, they have a web page where you can go on and purchase a domain name and start building that site. And a lot like an eBay listing, you're going to want to start off with really high quality photos and high quality descriptions of your product. Because again, in all online sales, people still really want to know what they're buying, just like in an in-person sale. So being able to provide a very good image of your product to a customer is still really important. And the Shopify creation process, because they have templates, can be pretty straightforward for a business owner once you have the appropriate photos and descriptions to put in. And again, for a fee, Shopify can also help market your website on search engines such as Google, Bing, Yahoo. But from what we've garnered from actual website developers, is that nothing is really going to beat in terms of search engine optimization and getting yourself really highly marketed on a search engine website than hosting your own site, because then you can really work on getting all the keywords hit. So just something to take into account if you're really looking to take that next step after potentially starting on eBay or Shopify, is the next step in a website. So marketing on Shopify, it's obviously very different than eBay marketing, because it is that standalone site. So you will have to bring people to your site, unlike eBay where they're coming to it. So working on things like sending customers if you potentially were somewhere else, send your customers a link to your website. Creating an email list is going to be really important for a Shopify website owner, because there's no really other way to get people to come to your site, especially customers you already have, than just marketing them and letting them know that you have this website now. And another thing to think about then is continually marketing. If you just tell them once, oh, hey, I have a website, please come visit it, they might not read the email. They might forget about it in, a week or two. So really that constant contact of letting people know about your product and your site, and keeping your business in the back of their mind. So maybe they think when, the time comes up where they want that product, they go, oh, I already know where I can get it. And boom, that's a sale. So shipping with Shopify, again, it's not as straightforward as eBay, where you can just kind of do everything through the infrastructure that eBay already has. Shopify is, that next step as, running your own business online. So you're going to be in charge of shipping costs and shipping the item to the customer, from creating the label to getting it to the post office to ship. So there's a little bit more that goes into shipping through Shopify. And just a rule of thumb for any shipping for a business: never ship your product, a professional product, in an unprofessional manner. People don't want the product that they just spent hard-earned money for to be shipped in a beat up, broken box and really make it look mishandled. If you can use something like a flat rate box, it really looks clean and professional. Whereas if you're shipping in, just a secondhand box, it just doesn't look as good. So really, that's something to take into account. Keeping that professional manner in your business is going to be really important, whether online or in person. So part of the keys to making a really good website, like I said, starting it, having those really high quality photos and high quality descriptions. One of the positives that Shopify allows you to do is that if you are looking at selling something like shoes or clothes, it allows you to market all the different variations of that product, whether it be color and size or color or size. So for anything, even like pottery, if you're offering multiple variations of a size of something with different color options, that can be really good on a Shopify site, because you can seamlessly transition through all those different variations in just the click of a button, all on the same page, and they don't have to just continuously move through the website. But again, making sure that you have those high quality descriptions and high quality photos to go with your product, to really let people know what they're going to be buying. There's no shame in talking your product up. You're trying to make some sales here. So really make sure that you do put your product in the best light that it's going to have to be in to make these sales. So, some really good takeaways with this. A lot of the differences in eBay and Shopify come from sort of the level of customization, the level of personalization that are offered in eBay and Shopify, respectively. One of the positives, obviously, with eBay is that there's a very low starting cost, or can be a very low starting cost, especially if you're starting small and want to build up. And one of the things to take into account is that eBay is also is best optimally built for highly marketable and popular products. So if you're selling something more niche, you may want to start with your own online site, because that's going to be better at marketing your specific product to the people you're trying to market it to. Whereas eBay, you're just hoping to get as many eyes on your product and make those sales as possible. Again, with eBay, you want to have a very competitive product, so something that you can price very competitively. So if you're looking at something that's potentially handmade, that has a lot more time and effort, and is obviously going to get reflected in a price, that may not do as well on eBay, because people are not necessarily going to see or be able to see that extra amount that goes into it, and then just simply see the price. And when they do that price comparison, they might opt for something a little less. And whereas in a Shopify site, you can really, it will much better allow you to show them what goes into something like a handmade product and allow you to put in all those photos and descriptions that market something like that, and then will help show them why that premium price is really there. So really things to take into account, whether on eBay or Shopify, if you're thinking of starting a business on either. With that, there are other hosting options. Amazon obviously is a pretty big one. A lot of people, again, know Amazon. It's a very popular site to sell your things on. Unlike eBay, Amazon, your more new items you can't really sell. They're also not necessarily built for handmade and sort of more niche items. They're more tailor-made towards a specific product. So if you are a seller looking to go on Amazon, it may be a little more difficult and a little more cumbersome to get on there than it would be to just simply start up at eBay. The positive there is that you'd have even more eyes on your product with Amazon. And sort of like Shopify, you would also be so eBay, I see somebody just asked if eBay allows you to enter your own website descriptions. So something you can do, you can actually use your eBay. You can sort of plug your own website. If you do have, you can work in unison, Shopify and eBay, to increase the number of eyes that your product may see. And one thing you can even do is potentially push people to your website through eBay by including your website in a description. Say if you have something that you think may get a lot of eyes and you have stuff that maybe isn't going to get as many eyes on it, you can put your website in a description and people can see everything that you are going to sell. So that's, again, something to take into account with both eBay and Shopify sales. One final option, I briefly mentioned it earlier, but designing and creating and hosting your own website is going to allow you the widest amount of freedom and customization and personalization for your business. But it is going to come with a higher cost in specifically designing it, or at least a higher time cost in designing it. But what it's going to come with is a greater ability to factor in things like search engine optimization and really putting in those good keywords for your business and getting it so that if someone searches what your business is selling, it's going to be one of the top hits on something like Google or Bing or any of those popular search engines. And one last thing is that if you are really interested in starting a website, there's a great webinar that's coming up from CVOEO called The Anatomy of a Website, where they're going to go in and discuss more about general website design. So if you're really interested in learning more about a general website design, really go check that out. It'll be great, especially if, now after watching this, you're interested in starting your own online website for business. Go watch that, and then you can learn even more about starting your own online business and what exactly would go into creating your own website. And lastly, a lot of people who may have had service-related businesses might go, hey, what about us? eBay and Shopify aren't really meant for service-related businesses. If you have a website, or say you're a landscaping company or a massage therapy business, those aren't really the websites that you're going to be listing yourself on. You probably want something that's more or less just a landing page to let people know about your website and drum up traction by just getting your name out there and people knowing about it. And a website can be a great way to reach more customers and get your name out there and potentially build that wider audience. Other hosting services that can be really good for that are Wix and Squarespace. They potentially offer less expensive options that wouldn't necessarily have the e-commerce or necessarily optimized for e-commerce, but are going to be really great for just putting in something like what your business is, what your hours of operation are, get you on Google, let people know about you, and less focused on sales online, but more driving those in-person sales through another method. So all things to think about, whether you're starting an online sales business, starting an online service business, or if you're just, already online, but maybe want to drum up sales through other places. So the webinar is called The Anatomy of a Website, and it's with CVOEO, and I'm sure that will come out in a newsletter. And I believe if you visit the MBDP website, you can get in touch with CVOEO, and they can send you the link to it. And I'm sure we at Brock can get a hold of that link for it and send it to anybody interested in attending it. And other than that, thank you for attending the webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with an MBDP counselor. You can find your local counselor at mbdp.org, and we can help you with anything from potentially moving online in your business, or just starting a business in general, or focusing on things like your business plan or re-updating your business plan and potentially helping with moving you online in that business plan. So we can help you with almost any and all business needs. Give us a call or email us if you're interested. But other than that, thank you for coming to this webinar, and have a great rest of your day.